Oh, hello. It's your girl, Davielle. Welcome or welcome back. I appreciate you being here per usual. Let's get into some cake. I have to bake a cake. It is now 9:23 p.m., but big bake energy means baking this late and owning it. So here I am. I want to bake a very basic cake though. Vanilla cake, but extremely basic. We're doing it from scratch. But there's something that you guys are going to hear me say a lot. I don't love all the ingredients that typical cakes come with. Like, that's not something I'm a fan of. So I'm being very rebellious, or I have been very, very rebellious and looking for ways to use less ingredients. One ingredient that I'm like about sometimes is eggs. To have to put eggs in every baked good blows my mind. I'll still eat it if someone makes it for me and it happens to have eggs, whatever, do you. But for me to have to do that every single time, nah, I'm good. I'm good. So I'm being a rebel per usual, and I've made this cake many times and it's come out quite great. But the way my divine team works, it did come out great. But today's a new day. So let's see what today holds, right? So, as y'all know, I am that girl that will eat it regardless. As long as it's not like burnt to crisp. Look, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it well, and it's gonna be edible. If it's not a cake that is like so uniform, we can sprinkle it on top of some ice cream. Okay, we can. There's different things you can do when you make a mistake, and so we're gonna embrace that. I'm just gonna bake a cake and see what happens, because what happens is going to be meant, right? So we're gonna own it. I have my recipe here in front of me. It's actually a cake based on water. No milk, no plant-based milk, no eggs. Very simple-ish ingredients, and they're ingredients that I'm like, I could use it or I don't have to. So let's dive in and see what happens. Okay, so we're gonna start off with water. I have 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. Sorry, 2 to 3 2/3 cups of water, not tablespoons. 2/3 cups of water. Okay, I usually do, it was supposed to be 1 cup of water, but I've been adjusting this recipe because it gets a little watery. So bear with me. Then we're gonna do 1 cup of sugar. This sugar water mixture is pretty important because it kind of gives the water an umph. Just like if you were to use like milk or something, the milk is gonna naturally have sugar. So having the sugar go in with the water, it kind of gives it like a nice flavor to start off with. And then we're gonna do some vanilla extract. I do not have, it's imitation vanilla. Yep, from whatever store. We're gonna use 2 tablespoons. Okay, boom. So we're gonna immediately get this water flavored the hell up. Okay, distilled vinegar, big old thing of vinegar because it comes in handy. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons of vinegar. So with baking soda, whenever you use baking soda, you need to have some type of acid so that it can react and help your baked good rise beautifully. So vinegar is a great solution for that. I used to be like vinegar and cake, but yes, it works quite nicely, in my opinion. Now we're gonna mix it up. We want the sugar to really seep into that liquid. It's almost like we're making basically a sugary water, long story short, with a little flavor in it, a little vinegar. Yum. Okay, so we're gonna mix and mix, make sure it's really mixed in very well. Get that in good. And as I've said before, I was not a sweets person, so for me to be baking at this time of my life, I'm very shocked, but here we are. But I am queen of, let's take chances in baking. It doesn't have to be so serious, it doesn't have to be so perfect. It can be fun. It can be a cake, even if it's not the exact cake that blah blah. Like, you can still enjoy some cake at home. You can still do what you need to do. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. Nice and brown, of course, because of the vanilla, imitation vanilla. Beautiful. From here, let's do vegetable oil. Talking and recording is definitely a challenge, but we got this. Wait, where is it? Okay, so we're gonna do half a cup. I should make sure. Half a cup, yep, of vegetable oil. Boom, bam, pow. Don't be skimp, okay? The oil is what helps the moistness. If someone doesn't like that word, I'm so sorry, but moistness in the cake. So do not skimp. So this cake, there's no butter involved, no margarine. It's really just the oil that does what it needs to do, and it does it every time. Whatever drop of oil that's left over, just keep it upside down. I don't waste oil out here. And I have vegetable oil, by the way. I cook with vegetable oil. That's basically all I do. As a vegetarian, I just end up using vegetable oil. I don't know. I don't care. And by the way, I usually do soy milk in my cakes. I actually make my own homemade soy milk. Maybe I'll do that with y'all one day. But yeah, the vegetable oil is made out of soybeans, and I love that because I'm a soybean girl. I love everything that soy can do. It's so freaking impressive. So if you are allergic at all to soy or anything, soy rubs you the wrong way, do whatever oil you want. Look, it's your cake. To you, just have an oil. That's all I ask. Half a cup of oil. That is all I ask. Okay. I need to do a pinch of salt. Literally do as you please. I would say like a half a teaspoon if you really want measurements, but truly it's up to you. Maybe less than a half, like a skimp half teaspoon. But yeah, the salt is very important. Don't ever leave out the salt when you are baking a cake. It actually helps the sugar come out more. It brings out the taste. Just like sometimes when something's salty, the sugar can help balance it out. We want balance, okay? So, but yeah, if you want less than a teaspoon, that's okay. Just sprinkle of salt is enough, but I like mine to have some good flavor. And of course, at the end, we're going to taste the batter to make sure it tastes good. So, all right, we got this. Next, we're going to do some flour. All you need for this recipe is about 2.5 cups of flour. So we're gonna do all-purpose flour. Let me use this. So we're gonna sift our flour, okay? I don't know that sifting makes such a big difference, but I'm gonna trust the baking kings and queens and just keep doing it. It hasn't steered me wrong since. My flour's on top, so got rid of it. Okay, so let's do our cups. I'm gonna pack it up. We're not gonna tightly pack it up, but nicely pack it up. Okay. Try to get your sift to not touch the liquids, because obviously that's gonna like get it all sticky and like have the flour be a little hard. Oh, I just dropped so much flour. Okay. I need a better method, clearly. Look, we're not perfectionists out here, like I said. We just try to get the job done, okay? All right, we're about to be on 2 cups of flour. So this is probably my maybe 30th cake that I've baked. Like, insane. No exaggeration, y'all. No exaggeration. To go from not caring to bake to baking this much in my life is a complete shock to the system. It is actually so fun. I feel like a little scientist. I swear, baking is very cool. I give it out to the people that do this. It's not easy, but it's actually quite fulfilling. Like, it's been actually really fulfilling for me. So, especially when I'm like having fun with it. There's one area of my life where I used to be perfectionist of some sort. Like, I need to do it right and it needs to come out decent. But I was never like so hard on myself. Just hard enough, if that makes sense. We're gonna sift it right on into the bowl. I know y'all can't kind of see. Okay, now you can see. We're gonna sift this in, and then we're gonna sift in the baking powder and baking soda. So the reason why I use both baking powder and baking soda, actually I could do that now. Let me do it all. I like when it's mixed all in. And we're gonna do 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. And then we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Baking soda. I got baking soda. Okay. Oh, of course well, I let it wet. I got it wet. It's a little wet, so it's a little sticky on the side, but that's okay. We still want to get through. Where do I put this spoon? Whatever. Don't fall in. Stop. Sorry. But not sorry. This is real life, okay? Sometimes you gotta talk to your tools. Like, hey, stop acting up. Stop embarrassing me. Okay? Yeah, it's all wet at the bottom. Yeah, you can see that. Well, that's what I was trying to avoid, but talking, recording, and all that, hey, look, I'm gonna still make it work. So I would like to stand up, but I want y'all to see me. So the setup here is not professional, but it's getting the job done. That is the key with baking, with recording, with everything that I do apparently. Wait, actually, no, we were talking about baking soda and baking powder. So I use both of those because I realized that the cake just rises better. Like when I just did baking soda for a while, it was good, but the rise wasn't like, you know what I mean? Like the dome that I create, it's really nice. Like I don't cut it to level it because I'm not doing anything so crazy. So yeah, I just leave it, but I love the rise. It just gets so fluffy, so just beautiful. I love it. And as far as icing and stuff like that, I was the kid that did not care for icing. Like I would wipe my frosting off every time for my cakes. Now, because icing has gotten better, like there's cream cheese icing, there's like, what is it? Buttercream, stuff like that. That's been fun. But yeah, I still don't really swear by icing, but you know, I try to do it here and there. Like I have definitely iced a lot of my cakes actually, but oh my god, it's taking forever because I wet the bottom. Yeah, don't be like me. Do not let the bottom of the cake get wet. I mean, the bottom of the sift get wet because it takes longer. But yeah, so icing is not the biggest thing that I worry about, but it is something I do include in my baking these days. I do like fruit-based icings. Like I did a blueberry icing the other day. I did like a mixed fruit icing because I had it in my freezer. I mean, I just do whatever I want, honestly. And sometimes I'll just make the icing out of powdered sugar and water. And I'll put a little cornstarch to thicken it. I just do whatever gets the job done, but I'm not like getting it all pretty. When I want it all pretty, I'll do soy milk to thicken it and, you know, less powdered sugar so that it's the right amount and it's nice and thick. But today, I don't think I'm doing an icing. I think I'm just going to keep it classic for y'all. So we can put that to the side and start to mix them. Okay. Scrape off your spoon. Yeah, and then we start to use this. I really love having these. I forget what they're called, but very helpful. And just mix. You don't want to overmix. That's what all the baking baddies say. Don't overmix ever. So I just try to get it all together as best as I can and try to get as smooth of a cake batter as I can, of course. Starting to combine. I then start to put my two main beauties, which is ground nutmeg. Love, love, love. I really just measure with my heart. I'm not gonna lie. If you like the taste of nutmeg, do it up. If you don't, don't. It's really so simple. Okay. And then cinnamon. Sorry, I forgot to say. Cinnamon, love, love, love. My fave. Not too much, not too little. I would say if I have to guesstimate, I probably put like two teaspoons of cinnamon and nutmeg. But like I said, please measure with your heart. You have to have fun. Okay. Yeah. See, with just 2/3 cups of water, it's already pretty watery. I like it nice and thick. The watery it is, the longer it'll take in the oven because it needs to properly rise, especially in the middle. Sometimes the ends will look cooked, but in the middle is taking forever. So just be mindful, but it still can work. It's just, you know, I rather something thick enough, but too thick, and now you're getting something a little too dense. Your cake gonna be a little dense. Taste test, of course. Do I have a spoon? I do. Use the spoon. So I'll try that real fast. Oh, that's good. Am I missing anything? Oh, that's good. Okay. Yeah, that tastes like money. Always taste your batter. I remember when I used to taste other people that would bake and they'd have the raw egg. I'm like, this is interesting. Okay. So now I don't have to be too scared, which is nice. Not that I was so scared. I still tasted it. Okay. Or when I would make brownies in the past and I would you could taste it and stuff. So that's the good part of using less ingredients and just straightforward stuff. You kind of can taste and not feel too nervous. At least I don't. But if there's something that I put in that you're like, whoa, I would be nervous. Sorry. Ignore what I just said. looking good to me, honestly. I like this consistency. Like I said, we can get it thicker, but this is speaking to my heart. Baking is really about just what feels good to you. Still really good. The optional thing, if you're like, a cake without an egg doesn't make sense to me, flaxseed meal with water gives you an egg-like consistency. I love putting it in cakes, but for the sake of this video and using simple ingredients, I won't put it in. But this is something I do love to use. It's just the taste of flaxseed in my cake actually tastes really good, but this is not a must. This is like $8 at your grocery store. I recommend it because it really is good for other recipes too that are like, you can't do it without eggs. It's like, all right, whatever. Love it. However, it's not a must. So we're not going to use it this time. I feel confident in not doing it today. So let's see. I'll be very honest with y'all too, how it comes out. Now it's time for the fun part, which is pouring it in. But first, let me actually preheat my oven to 350. Very important. I usually wait to do that because I take a little long, especially if I'm recording. So let me do that. Okay, so I am using this circular pan, 9 inches. That's what is good for this cake. If you're doing something bigger, like a big rectangle pan or something, measure with your heart. I'm not gonna lie, but maybe you could double the recipe if you'd like. But this is what I'm using, and it'll get like this high. Not too high, but it's a cute little cake, and you'll see. So I'm gonna get some parchment paper. I'll kind of measure it on top of it to make sure it's the length I need. Scissors. Okay. So the method I use, I don't know if there's a better method. Please let me know if there is, but I'll just cut the circle. Okay, very rough circle. Put it right smack in the middle. Okay. And then you could put butter or margarine along the edges, or even oil if you'd like. Yeah, maybe I'll do a little oil around the edges. Edges, when it comes out, it'd be a little easier. And yeah, that's really it, honestly. I'm gonna go ahead and pour my batter in and pray. Hope for the best. But even while I was sitting there, thickened a little bit. Maybe a close up before I pour it in, okay? All right, now I'm gonna pour it in. Try to make it as cool as possible. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. Once it's all in there, what I love to do also is add a little streusel on top. I have a homemade streusel recipe that I just really quickly put together. I'm not going to do that today, but it gives it that beautiful crunch at the top. So delicious. We're going to keep it simple today, but next time we'll get a little fancy. That's considered fancy. And then of course I'm going to lick the bowl clean because period, why not? And yeah, it's really that simple. Now we just wait for the preheated oven to do its thing, and we're gonna be good to go. Do a little tap, 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 tap. Shaky, shaky. Is it baking if you're not a little dirty? Hey, look. But that's the fun of it, you know? Fingers crossed that it comes out pretty decent. And we're gonna put it in the oven 350 for about 20 minutes. Check it. But I'd say 30 minutes is the sweet spot. But you don't want to open your oven before the 15-20 minute mark because your cake is baking. It's trying to rise. It's trying to do what it needs to do. Give it time. So don't get too eager. But, you know, after 20 minutes, check it and make sure everything looks good. If you have like a little window in your oven, check it out there. But you should be good. I'll check back in with y'all once the oven is preheated. And we back. We back. Here are the results. So, where's the dome I was telling y'all about? I feel like a fibber. What the Baking is trying to take me out. And I'm gonna fight back. Cause stop it. Either way, I didn't use the flaxseed method with the water because that gives the egg vibe. So that's probably why I've been getting such a high dome, because I do that. I don't know why else it didn't rise, but this is what we have. Usually that baby boom, like, I don't know, I can't because it's kind of hot still, but it would be like maybe like this high, definitely higher than this, like to not see it over the I'm embarrassed, but that's okay. Like I said, baking has a mind of its own, plus I did change some things up, so it's probably my fault. It's all my fault. I'm gonna put the cake in here. We're gonna flip it out of this first and foremost. So we're gonna take this plate and do a boom bang pow. Shaboom. Ooh. Okay, I hope that was successful. Wow. Quite successful, actually. Yeah, I got the edges still there, but that's okay. I was actually supposed to take the knife and go around it, but I was distracted. Y'all were distracting me. That's my excuse. But yeah, take it right off. Boom. I sometimes save this for later and reuse it because why not? And then I'm gonna now take the bottom of the cake thingy. This has been washed, and then I boom bam pow pow. And there we have it. A tiny little cute little I mean, this is like 2.5 cups of flour. So whatever. Definitely could have rose more. So whatever. Like I'm telling y'all, I'll put a picture. But let's see what we have here. So I'm gonna cut into it. It's been cooling down for the last 10 minutes, so never cut into a cake immediately. Let it cool. Okay, be patient. It's now 10:46 right now, so I'm gonna take a cute little modest slice and see what's up with it. Yeah. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, okay, broke a little bit. This is what we have. What we have here. Lovely. Okay, so I clearly have notes with this one. One being the lack of risation. I'll fight, but that's okay. So here's what we're working with. Our water cake, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. The slice is not the cutest, but I'm not here to be cute. I'm here to bake, okay? And enjoy. All right, taste test. Here we go. Oh, yeah, hopefully y'all see that. Okay, fluffy. I mean, I don't know how to show fluff with cake, but... All right, let me do it with my hands because I did not bring a fork over. Look, this is real and raw. Baking in the wild. Very flavorful, first of all. Really good. Really good. I didn't think it would get as fluffy because I didn't do the flaxseeds. Really good. Wow. I mean, I didn't get my dome, but it's very soft. The flavor bow in my mouth. I mean, fluffy. The warmth is nice. Obviously, like I said, I wanted a taller cake, but other than that, it baked exactly as it needed to. As far as taste, I'm gonna show y'all. Oh my gosh, so fluffy, so good. It's like I want to say the one critique I have, but it's not so true. But because it came to mind, I'm gonna share it with y'all. It could be a little moist, more moist maybe. It's almost like now that I had a few bites, I'm like, okay, I can use a cup of water. You know what I mean? But I feel like I'm stretching that because I don't. Like, it's not stuck to the roof of my mouth. It's so soft, so fluffy, very delicious. Very happy with this. Very happy with it. I didn't even think I'd eat the whole slice. It's a little late, and I try not to eat this late, but worth it. Maybe I'll go give it to someone. But yeah, this was fun. Okay, well, my water cake, y'all. I love it. So good. Flavor, the ease. You don't always have milk on hand, okay? You don't always have all these ingredients. But yeah, so simple enough. Hopefully you try it. Let me know what you think, if you have thoughts. Obviously you can't taste it, so you can't taste the deliciousness, but you see the vibes. Hey, look, you see the vibes. You see it. But my name is Davielle once again. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you making it this far. Support your girl if you'd like, and I will see you all when I see y'all. Bye.